Hi, I'm Ted Strawman at the Rank Amateur. Thank you for selecting this video on life is a series of mental images. How to use it. But before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then take the time to do so right now. While you're at it, activate the notification bell feature. Share the joy of the channel with others. Comment courteously below. And if you like this video, give it a thumb up. If you don't like it, give it your other thumb up. Now, life is a series of mental images. All right, look. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's just broaden it, loosen it up a little, and say life is a series, it turns out, looking back, it's a series of mental impressions. That's what you end up with, right? Mental impressions. All right, where are they made out of? Sensory input, I guess. You know, like if along the way, in this busy, hectic world, in which we feel like time is just about ready to, like get away from us. If we stopped and smelled the roses a couple of times, what do we get out of it? Well, we might remember. I mean, if we remember it now, right? I mean, looking back, right? The mental impression. Well, we have a smell. We smelled the roses, right? So there's a smell. We might have stepped on a leaf while we were doing it, and we remember how it crackled under our foot. There's a sound to go with it. We might have said something to ourselves about it. We might remember that. But look, what we're going to have, no matter what, is a mental image. Anything we do in our lives, anything we do voluntarily, we start with a verbal description of the thing, like something that gives it form, right? And then, as soon as it takes form, starts to take form, we have a mental image that goes with it, right? We can picture the thing. Once we've defined it a bit, now we can see its outlines. We form a mental picture. Then the thing may happen if we actually focus on, the verbiage that goes with it, the mental image, and bring it to real life out in the world. We do what it takes to get there. Throw in some desire, throw in some will, throw in some doing, throw in some life force. Comes about, or something close to it, given what resources there were, or could come together, right? Okay. There's always a mental image involved. And once the thing is over, once it's past, it's now a mental impression. And it will always have the picture. As long as you have the impression, as long as you have something left of it, it's going to be the mental image. And in the end, when we look back over things over the years, we look back over a series of mental pictures, don't we? Most of all, if it wasn't for those, there wouldn't be anything to really remember. In the end, think back of something that happened very early in your life. You can remember. There's a picture to go with that, right? It's a picture, most of all. That's what it is. You see it happening. Like when you go on a vacation. You don't stay. You're on a holiday. You're away on a vacation. If you stay, then you're not away anymore, right? So if you go away, you don't stay. What do you bring back home? What do you have that's going to last? Let's say you took a camera. Why'd you take pictures while you're away? What'd you take the pictures for? Why do you bring home these images? So you can remember, right? They're what you bring home. You might bring some objects and so forth. They can get lost. They can get destroyed. They can get left behind. They can get thrown away. They can get taken. But you have a mental image. But they themselves are kind of like, they serve as a picture. One that you can touch. It's tangible. But eventually, that stuff goes away. And what's left is the mental picture. And that's what our lives boil down to. And in this world, looking back on things can happen a lot because we're feeling age creep up on us fast because time seems to be slipping away. The faster and faster things change and move in the world, the more we have to rush to try to keep up. We feel age creeping up on us. Aches and pains come quicker. What might have been a bad pain in 6th grade when we were 12 years old, by the time we're 50 might be just an everyday thing. And we have lots of those, but we have to keep on working. That's the body we're now working with. When we hit 60, it's worse. When we hit 70, it's worse. For almost all of us, that's the way it goes. Sooner or later, no matter who you are, you live long enough and it hurts. Physically. Maybe you're exhausted in other ways. So let me ask you, when you get to the point in your life when if somebody asks you how you're doing, your answer is going to be something along the lines of, I'm getting old. Maybe you'd be saying that to a younger person. It's probably going to be a younger person, because most people are going to be younger than you by then. Maybe you just don't want to feel alone with it. Maybe you want to hear a younger person say something nice. Whatever your reasons are, obviously you're very caught up in the aches and pains of getting old, in the fears that may arise, in the vulnerability that may come with it, a lack of security that may come with it, the worry about where this is going before you die, the worry about dying, and not feeling very good about things. Here's something to ask yourself right now for when that happens. What mental pictures are you going to have? That's going to be what's left of your life. You're not here forever. You're not here forever. Just like when you go away on vacation, you're not there forever. You're not there to live. You're away. You're gonna come back to where you were. Or maybe a house you own for 40 years. Same thing. You're not there forever. Unless you die there. But then, your whole life, you weren't here forever. You were here for a while. Now you're close to not being here. Or you're not here. Okay? You moved on. What mental pictures will you take with you? Do you have nice pictures? I think we all do. But as the aches and pains and the years increase, the passing of years, the number of years behind us increases, and the aches and pains increase. Maybe the best thing we have is the good pictures that stay in our minds. We can focus on the aches and pains, the fears. Or we can look at what we got out of it. What we got out of it. We can look at our achievements. We can look at our diplomas on the wall. We can look at all of that, the big cars we have. But what's in here? What are we looking at when we're not looking at those things? In here. Are we looking at the good pictures? Or are we caught up in the aches and pains? We can do either. We can do both. I'm just asking you to consider getting accustomed, getting used to looking at your nice pictures in your mind. And someday, they might be the best thing you have. What else can you take with you? If you don't bring home a bunch of souvenirs from when you're away on vacation, you have your pictures. And one day the souvenirs are just going to become a mental picture too, and nothing else in your life. So what are your mental images? That your life ultimately boils down to being a collection of mental images. You're going to look at those? When are you going to start? It's a good time to get used to it right now. Look at the good ones. I know you have some good pictures. If you liked the video, thumb up. Didn't like it? Thumb up. Subscribe, get notified, share the Joy of the channel with others, comment courteously below. I'm Joe Strongman at the Ron Q. Ramataraka. Be well.